Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, I'll show you how I replaced the speakers on the Nintendo Switch. Several months ago, my son dropped his Nintendo Switch and the speakers didn't work after that. I checked the software settings and also did a factory reset and nothing helped. So let's replace the speakers. Start off by turning off the switch. Remove any game cards, remove any SD card, then remove the controllers. On the back side, there are 4 tri-wing screws. This is the tri-wing screwdriver that I used. Let's remove those screws. When you're removing the screws, you want to make sure that you're pressing the screwdriver down firmly before you start turning. If you don't, potentially you can strip your screws. The rest of the screws for this job are Phillips head, and this is the screwdriver that I used. At the top of the switch, there's one screw near the air vent. Remove it. At the bottom of the switch, there are 2 screws where the USB-C charge port is located. Remove them. Where the controllers are located, there are 5 screws on each side. You only need to remove the middle screw. Then under the kickstand, there is a screw near the SD card slot. Remove it. Now you can lift the back cover carefully. Wiggle it if you feel it getting stuck. Looking inside, the first thing you'll notice is a giant aluminum heat spreader. It's held down by 7 screws, including the SD card reader screw. I want to point out that the 2 screws near the headphone jack, you don't have to remove those screws. Before removing the heat spreader, you have to remove the SD card reader. There's a cushion over the SD card reader connector. Carefully remove it. Then lift the SD card connector up. Remove the SD card reader screw. Now you can remove the SD card reader. Now we can focus on the rest of the screws holding down the heat spreader. Now you can lift the heat spreader and move it out of the way. Before replacing the speakers, it's really best practice to unplug the battery. Just lift the white connector up. Pry out the speaker. I use that 1.5 size flathead screwdriver. Then disconnect it. On the left, we have the new eBay speaker, and on the right is the original speaker. There is a top and a bottom side to the speaker connector. Make sure you have it right side up. It takes patience to connect a new speaker. I use the tweezer to help. Now tuck in the wires and press the speaker down into place. Before I put everything back together, I tested the new speaker. It worked. It's good. Repeat the same procedure with the other speaker. Pry it up. Carefully bring it out. Don't damage the ribbon cable above it. Then disconnect the speaker. When you're putting this speaker back, the speaker wire gets tucked under the power cable. Let's go over some tips when you're putting everything back together. You'll notice there's thermal paste that connects the copper heatsink and fan combo to the large aluminum heat spreader. Don't reuse the thermal paste. Wipe off the thermal paste, clean both surfaces with alcohol, and then apply the new thermal paste. Before securing the screws on the heat spreader, lift the heat spreader to ensure that the new thermal paste is contacting both surfaces. When you are reinstalling the screws on the aluminum heat spreader, install the SD card reader with its screw first before installing the rest of the screws. Don't forget to replace the SD card connector cushion if you have it. When you're putting the back cover back on, notice that the SD card screw is smaller than the rest of the black screws. Put that small screw back on there. Alright, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please give it a like. I'll have links to the tools in the description of the video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.